So heel toe downshifting and Rev-Match Downshiftting. Not really going to go into any left foot braking, because that's kind of, you know, when you're, it works really good in all-wheel drive cars. If you do a little bit of left foot braking, that's when your left foot down here is actually, gosh, that looks weird. Your left foot down here, instead of your right foot, you're usually using your right foot to brake. That's when you're actually in gear, and you would actually be pushing onto the left, onto the brake pedal with your left foot. What you'd be doing is, sometimes when you're inducing a little bit of understeer, you can put on a left foot that's going to tidy you up a bit. That way you don't have to lift off of the gas either to go use your right foot, because when you do that and you're really pushing it in a corner, especially in all-wheel drive, you're going to end up getting lift-off oversteer, which you may want if you're trying to have fun. But if you're not trying to have fun and don't know what you're doing, that can get you into trouble. So I'm not really going to go over that. I might do another video on that. But basically what we're going to go over is heel toe downshifting. So what that means is, when you're in gear, your right foot, which is the one that you're usually using for your brake and for your gas, your right foot in a heel toe downshift is actually going to be your right foot ball on the brake. Now what I like to do is, I like to kind of cover up the corner of the brake pad. You know, be aware if you're learning this for the first time. Sorry, my mount just fell off. If you're doing this for the first time, you're gonna want to be aware that, you know, your foot doesn't slip off the brake, because that could be really bad. That could so I'm not going to take any liability for that. That's up to you guys. So make sure, you know, you have a good grip. So there's kind of two different techniques here. With this car, this is Subaru WRX 2014 hatchback. So what I like to do, the spacing on these pedals is set up really good. So this is a clutch, as everybody knows, brake and gas. What's really nice is, you know, for me, I just use kind of the corner of my foot. So I go like this. And when I'm doing that, then I'm going to put it into the appropriate gear that I'm downshifting to. You know, you're going to want to give it the firmness of the brake pedal as normal when you're coming up to a turn to slow down. I mean, this is basically a method that you're going to use coming into corners fast, so that you can get into the proper gear, stay in that proper gear, and pull out of that corner with the appropriate gear ratio to get you out of the corner the quickest. You know, it's a really fun technique. I end up doing it pretty much everywhere. As far as when I'm coming up to a light, I mean, I always rev match, and I always just heel toe downshift through the gears, just because I get a lot of practice at it. Do you necessarily have to do that? No. Should you do that all the time? I don't know. It's up to you. You know, but so that's one of the basic setups. The other one is basically a little bit more. Let's see if I can get this. A little bit more with your foot covering the brake, and then the actual heel of your foot. Let's see. Yeah. See if I can get a good. So my foot is on the brake, gas, and actually my heel of my foot. So I'm just gonna wham, wham, wham. And what you're doing is, when you're downshifting and you're on the brake, what you're essentially doing is rev matching each gear in that downshift while applying the brake. So does that sound simple? To me, it sounds simple. To you, that might sound very confusing. I'm not sure. Depends on how much you get the concept of Rev-Match Downshifting. So anyways, I'm gonna go over just kind of Rev-Match Downshifting real quick. Basic concept, let's drive around a little bit. Basic concept of it is, you're gonna want to be in gear, and you're gonna want to shift. You know, if you're in second gear and I'm going 20 miles an hour, that's 2200 RPM. If I put it into third gear, you'll notice that it drops to 1500 RPM. If it's dropping to 1500 RPM, when I put it down, I need to go to 2200 RPM. So what I meant by down was going from third gear to second gear. Again, so now I'm shifting up. it's gonna drop to about 1700 RPM. So that's kind of my change of my RPM range. So what we're essentially trying to do is match the revolutions per minute on your tachometer with each gear. So, and what it would be doing at that speed. That's basically it. I mean, if you know how to drive a manual transmission, just start applying this technique. I'm gonna get on the freeway and I'm gonna go do some more off-ramp stuff. So basically I'll do a couple you know, I'm gonna do some Rev-Match downshifts. I'll try to have my my camera set up down by my feet so you can see my footwork. Basically we're just downshifting with the, you know, with the shifter. That's essentially going to be the same as however you normally downshift. You're going to want to do it quicker, and you're going to want to blip that throttle up. So you're going to want to give it a little bit more throttle into second gear. You know, all the other gears are just a quick blip. Second's more of a little bit longer of a blip. So just try that. Okay, so I'm just going to get on the freeway real quick. Let's show that. So this is just basic normal upshifts. Put the clutch in all the way, upshift, let it off. Some basic Rev-Match downshifts. So right now I'm in 4th gear. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna Rev-Match it into 3rd. So real quick, I'm gonna take my foot, put my foot into the clutch, and as I do so, I'm gonna tap the throttle. Just blip the throttle with my right foot. So I'll do that real quick. Okay, so that's back into 4th gear. Back down to the 3rd, blip it. Probably need to add just a little more gas. Right there, that's about perfect. So 4th gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear. Really easy. You know, just practice doing that a little bit in each gear. What you'll actually notice is, you know, 3rd, 4th, and 5th gear, you're usually going to drop about 1,000 RPM. So on a downshift, you're going to usually go down about 1,000 RPM. So if you blip your throttle with your right foot up about 1,000 RPM, that should be right in the range of where you want to rev match the car at. So that was 1,000 RPM blip, and that was perfect. So now I'm back in 5th gear. So I'm going to come up to this off ramp up here. And when doing so, I'm going to try to downshift through all the gears and give you guys an idea of what that looks like. So I'm going to stay in 5th for a second, and I'm going to do a couple of heel toe downshifts. So here goes the first. This is 5th to 4th. All right, now I'm coming in hot on the brakes, down to 3rd, down to 2nd, flipping the throttle real quick. Now I'm back on. So here's that left foot. You can load it up. You know, kind of play with that if you want to. Introduce a little bit of left foot braking if you kind of feel a little bit of understeer happening. So right now, 3rd, heel toe, down into 2nd gear. Ride that out. Okay. Pushing it back out, full throttle, 3rd gear, downshift, back down to 2nd. All right, coming back into this corner. Okay, pushing it kind of hard. Gonna get on the brakes just a tad. And come out of there. 2nd gear, pull, back down to 3rd. Downshift, into 2nd gear. A little bit of heel toe. So hopefully you guys are seeing my footwork down there. Hopefully it's decent. I don't know. Can't tell until I review the video. So back down into 2nd gear again. So you can see how quick those downshifts become. It's really a lot of fun to practice. I mean, right now I'm just kind of doing a clover off ramp. Just call it an undisclosed location. Just doing a clover off ramp, kind of off of the freeway. You know, there's really no posted speed limit, so I'm not really breaking the law in any way. I'm just having fun. So back down into 2nd gear, okay? Coming out, okay? Get it to rotate a little bit. Some lift off, coming up on some people, so let's do this. One more time. Second gear, third gear. I'm not going too quick, but brake, second gear. I'm on the brakes. All right, so I'm able just to, I'm not flooring the throttle, I'm feathering the throttle to where I need to be. That's just to come out of these off ramps. Man, you can hear my tires getting really sticky right now, so, well, that's awesome. They're probably all worn down on this side, so I have to find something else where I can do a couple of left turns, or yeah, left turns. Do a little NASCAR style. Right now I'm going right, so hey, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, just practice that in your car. Just practice rev matching, practice heel toe downshifting. You can do it anywhere you feel. It doesn't necessarily have to be into a high-speed corner. You can start doing this just in your normal everyday driving. I mean, you can just rev match. Rev matching is ideal. You always want to rev match your manual transmission. It's the best way to drive your manual transmission. It's the best thing for your manual transmission.